I remember going out for a role, and it was a big life-changing role. It was a casting director who I had never read before, and I wasn't prepared as I should have been. I had everything going on. I was still at the point, still making excuses. I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that. I'm a father of 2 kids. I got everything that was going on. So I wasn't prepared. I think they even sent the script, which is like rare. Sent the script, I didn't read the script. I got these sides and I'm gonna go in. And it just wasn't a good audition. It wasn't good. And when I tell you, this casting director wanted me to be good so bad. She let me do it like 5 times. She gave me notes, she coached me through it, and it was just bad. And I remember her saying, maybe, you look the part, you're perfect for the role, you're this, you're that, you're just not ready. And it was just devastating to me. It was like, what do you mean I'm not ready? I've been doing this for a long time. I went to school for this. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm deserving. I worked hard. But this particular audition, I wasn't ready. And for her to be in that position to give me a life-changing opportunity, series regular on a big show, this show is huge now. It's like, I need to get my stuff together. I need to rethink the opportunities that I get and make. And if I'm not prepared for it, and if I don't do the work for it, I'm wasting both of our times. That's something you said when we started this call. But what that did is it burned the fuel in me to make sure that I was prepared for every single opportunity that came my way. I think being a magician helps in every which way, whether it's social skills, whether it's improvisational skills, because every single show that I do is improv. I'm not one of those magicians that has the same structured script and I'm gonna do it this way every time. I don't know the order. It literally comes down to who I am, doing magic for, and that's the show. It switches up every time. As a professional magician, I always have to stay ahead of the curve. I have to constantly study. I have to constantly do homework to know what new tricks are out there. How do I learn them? Who created the tricks? How do I build those relationships? So as anything you want to be really good at, you have to do the work, like you said. And as comparable to acting, it's the same thing. You go stagnant, you lose that craft or lose the hunger and the passion in that. I personally use magic as a seasonal thing in the sense of when acting is not providing fruit, I can then be a magician in that time. And then when the acting is fruitful again, I can go back. And then I also have music to be in between those that I feel like being a musician today. So I found that secret in knowing that acting is not always going to be fruitful all the time. There's going to be highs and lows. And I had to find other things that I'm passionate about that are fulfilling to me and that also exercises that entertainment bug in my body. In a perfect world, I would get the sides. I would read every word on the page from exterior, outside, at this house to interior, like every single word. Because again, that shows if you realize that you're exterior and you're acting like you're interior in someone's apartment, you're not really thinking about the weather conditions, or is it cold? Am I comfortable? Or are people looking? It kind of paints that overall element of where you are, right? So once I read every word on the page twice, I begin to explore one line at a time. Not just my lines, but also the other characters' lines. Read it as a book, as if you're trying to enjoy the story. You're not trying to be an actor. You're not saying your lines as you would say them when you're reading. It's like, let me try to understand everything that's going on. Then after that, I don't really focus too much on memorization anymore, because once you create and get in the body of that particular character, what you need to say and respond kind of happens. So it's me more so listening, letting it feed me and reacting to it. And it almost instinctually, you know what you're supposed to say. I like to get as much in my personal body as possible. And I don't really think about what's gonna happen. I used to, but it was stressful for me. I used to be like, oh, my lines, what am I gonna say? This is how the rooms should be, and I hope they read like this. And you're expecting and you're planning. And what happens when you plan and it doesn't go out your way, it throws you off. As opposed to me now, it's like, cool, I am enough. If it's for me, it will be for me. And I'm gonna go in, perform to the best of my ability, and leave. And that's just, such a stress reliever. And it makes me so much happier as an artist because I know that it's truly not in my hands at the end of the day, you know? So I just try to be as comfortable in my body as possible before, and I go in, I do what I'm gonna do, and then I leave. But not planning doesn't throw me off because it's happening for the first time. For the first time, does that make sense? It's like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I get to be present and watch it as it unfolds. Whether
and living in the moment.
Live in the moment. And if it's you as a casting director that asks me a question, I get to listen and react and answer the question. Or if it's you as a casting director that says, let's get started, it's like, cool, let's get started. And I get to read with you or your reader. And it's present, it's in the moment, just like the scene is supposed to be. Don't forget that you do this because you love it. Don't forget how to make it fun. You enjoy using your imagination. You are enough. You don't have to do anything but do the work. Do the work, make the work fun, and the rest will come. I was able to pass it on to my daughter to say, hey, you as a child, you're very imaginative already. I don't want her to be like, oh, you got another 10-page audition. And she's like, oh man, it's homework. And it's like, no, you should be like, sweet. Who do I get to be today? And once we kind of switched that up, it changed our entire trajectory as a family. Using the person in front of you, the reader, it's like a lot of times as actors, I'm looking this way because I don't want to look at the reader because I don't, but it's like, no, use them, connect with them, feel them. If they're not good readers, use that. If they're, if they're not looking at you, use that and use it as a real present moment. Actors sometimes feel bad for booking stuff because they know their other friends may need it financially or deserve it and be ready for it. But it's like, but it's mine and I have to accept it and I shouldn't have to hide my blessing for it. When they do get it and I don't, it's like, that was yours. Congratulations. That's awesome. So once I shifted that, I'm a big fan of manifesting and putting good energy out there. My life and career switched. It changed for me. I was able to accept what was for what it was, and it is nothing that I could do to have changed it. Not my acting, not my preparation. It wasn't for me. Audition's over, I take my script or my sides and I throw it in the trash. I taught that to my daughter. I was like, all right, you did it. Shall I do the honors? That's what we always say. And she'll take the script, rip it, throw it in the trash. If you get a call back, great. If you don't, you're not waiting for the opportunity. You did your best. It's in the universe. If it's for you, it's for you. The neighborhood was so special to me because it was my first multicam experience. And coming from a stage show or a stage background like musical theater, I missed the live audience. And I've always said sitcoms with multicam is the best, TV or film version of that experience. I get to be on stage almost like a play, but I get to grow. I don't get to stay in that box. I'm not singing the same song. I'm not doing the same script and same episode every week. I'm able to have the writers develop my character and meet new guest stars and go on new journeys. And I get to have a live audience that I can feed off the energy with. And just experiencing that with Cedric the Entertainer and Tashina Arnold, who I grew up watching on my TV, and one of my favorite shows, Martin. It was like, man, it was that moment. It's like, Josh, you've done great for yourself. There's been a lot of growth, and here's a, reminder of that. I grew up in an African-American area, all of my friends, just neighborhood was fully African-American, except for my teachers. All of my teachers were white. I didn't have a black teacher until 10th grade. I didn't know. I was smart. I was an honors kid, gifted and talented, scholarships and stuff like that. And some of my teachers became my mentors. White teachers became my mentors, and they would kind of protect me and shield me and say, "Hey, you're special. You're different. You have potential. You're gonna do well. Let's keep you, you know, sheltered, or I'm gonna put you under my wing and make sure you don't follow the paths of some of your friends." Growing up, I always thought that was because I apply myself, I'm smart, I'm this, I'm that, I have my head on straight. But I didn't realize what tokenism was. And I didn't realize that tokenism is a form of racism, essentially. Sometimes that separation says, yes, I can tolerate you, I like you, I love you, I see your potential, but all your friends, all your family, they can stay over there. It's just you. I realized the separation of colorism in me being a brown skin or a lighter skin African American, seeing some of my darker skin African American friends not even getting the same opportunities as me. They won't even get into the same rooms. Vice versa, I can't get into the same rooms as them. Whether it's the athlete or the guy from The Wire on the street corner or whatever it may be, but they saw me as too clean cut, too polished, and I wasn't getting those roles. And it's like, hey, I grew up in this. I can transform into this easily, but they didn't see me as that. Anyone who's experiencing being underrepresented, just be patient, be willing to fight for it, be willing to wait for it, and be willing to speak up about it. 2021, it's like first African American to do this, first African American lead role that, and the Asian Americans is far, far worse. They have so much, more to endure to be recognized in that way. And the Native Americans are even further down. And it's just representation in America should not be a hurdle. I think there's been some incredible strides in the entertainment industry for that, but we have a lot of work to do. There was a teacher of mine when I was in high school. He said, choices are long lasting and life changing. Someone can do something and you can choose to get upset. You can choose to get mad. You can choose to go get a gun and shoot them. You can choose to, you can choose whatever your reaction is, right? And when you know that your choices control your future, it changes your mind, essentially. You think about it before you do it. Have faith in yourself, in your vision, and be patient. Be patient in that, because everyone's path is different.